Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So it seems that you are very happy with my rants, that I do my little shorter videos, but there are a few of you that are kind of missing my longer videos. So I thought today I would actually do a little bit of a change from talking about the dastardly duo and talk about another narcissist, which is Amber Heard. Now, obviously, I'm assuming that any one of you that follow the situation with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, you know that at the moment he is going through with a defamation lawsuit against her because she allegedly she accused him, of allegedly, domestic violence. So obviously, as you know, this messy court case happened in the UK and it was then won over in her favour. And I think, there's a lot of YouTube footage out there that talk about the way that she was. There's been literal tapes that have confirmed that she ridiculed him, she abused him verbally, she kind of gaslighted him and coerced him into things. And I was a little bit kind of, curious about how this might have started because, for the most part, one of the worst relationships that you can get into is a narcissistic, abusive relationship. And I get asked many, many times, whether it be from clients, people on the channel, how can this happen? How does somebody who, for all intents and purposes, can seem very together, because they do not just target vulnerable. This is a misconception that people have with narcissistic abusive people, that they target the weak and the vulnerable. They don't. They actually thrive on a challenge. So, however, what they do is they find vulnerabilities within you, which is why when you get into a narcissistic relationship, in the beginning, you have the fact that they come across as if they are everything that you want them to be. If we look at it across the board, like we have spoken about the dastardly duo, how we believe that Meghan come in, she wore his mother's perfume, she dressed like her, she was a team player, she was going to be part of the royal family, she loved going to Africa, she loved helping people, she was suddenly a humanitarian, all the things that she believed that Harry wanted. Harry was looking for a secondary Diana, his mother, and a lot of, when you look into Freud, this, the sexual element, it's not, I don't believe it's actually a sexual element. I think it is that a boy, when he's looking for a partner, subconsciously will look for somebody that represents his mother. Now, sometimes that is a positive role model, but sometimes also it can be a damaging role model. So somebody, they will carbon copy someone that mirrors their mother, because subconsciously it's deemed as safe, it's familiar. It's the same for a woman. A woman will find someone that's like daddy, like her dad. So with a narcissist, it's slightly different, because obviously what they want is that they want somebody to control. They want somebody that is malleable, that they can conform and control into what they want. But ultimately, it is materialism. They want somebody that is attractive to them. They want somebody that has got power, that has got money, someone that can help elevate them. They never go for someone that is what they deem as beneath them. So that's why obviously it makes sense that Meghan went for somebody like Harry. Now, of course, Harry being the way he is, even though he's damaged, he's not in a sense like a, he has power behind him with being in the royal family. So this was a big risk for her to take. So she had to make sure that she knew what she was doing, and she would have done her groundwork. She would have known exactly how to manipulate him. Exactly the same as Amber Heard. Amber Heard would have known exactly how to manipulate Johnny Depp. She would have known what to do. She would have done her groundwork. Like I think there was an interview where she did very similar to Meghan, where she said, I didn't know much about Johnny Depp. In fact, I didn't really know who he was. And yet there's a photograph of her standing outside a Johnny Depp film, you know, where but this is before she's even famous. So she absolutely knew who he was. So she would have done her research and her groundwork to do what she's done. So she manipulates, and she will find men that idolize her. You know, narcissists are usually attractive people. They're not attractive inside, but they are very much they focus on their looks, their body, because with women especially, it is a sexual element. They have to be sexy, you know, because fundamentally that is what they think a man wants. They want someone that is sexy. So that's why Meghan would have love bombed him, and she probably, like I said before, would have rocked his world sexually. I believe Amber Heard would have done exactly the same. But when I do a little bit more of a dive into Johnny Depp's past, you know, he has come from a bit of a broken home. So even though he's got money, he's got people around him that create him to be actually quite powerful, in the sense of he's quite high up in the film world. He's not an easy mark because, you know, he's got people around him that can kind of go, do you know what, Amber Heard, bit iffy, you know, but... So people like Meghan, people like Amber, they have to do their research. They have to be clever to manipulate and gaslight the person they are intending on controlling. So for Amber, it was, she wanted in, she wanted her, you know, she knew that by dating Johnny Depp, she was going to get the film roles because he was quite high up in the film world. So he would have orchestrated that and got her film roles, which he did. Meghan, she knew that going with Harry, she believed it would open up Hollywood for her. But obviously, well, as we know now, that went wrong because it didn't. And I think that the truth started to come out before she was ready. And I think, but with Amber Heard, it was there was a lot that was going on behind the scenes, so people didn't know. So she was able to manipulate, able to get in there and not have people, it wasn't so in the public eye where people were kind of questioning. So when you look at Johnny Depp's background, he comes from quite an abusive home life. So what you have here is somebody that then would, in a way, subconsciously go for somebody that's almost like his mother. You know, he had an abusive mother. So, and I think I'm not sure if she was a drinker. So you have this kind of mirroring going on. So, you know, if you come from, say, a damaged home, there is the odds that, say, for example, if you've got an alcoholic parent, you're going to go one way or the other. You're going to be someone that becomes a carer and you're going to look after your mum. You're not going to see her you're going to see her as somebody that needs help, needs looking after. You're not going to see the controlling aspect, the manipulation aspect of the disease, but you're going to then develop, possibly then finding somebody that you can then look after and take care of. So you'll then follow that same pattern in your own relationships and friendships. You will become a carer, a rescuer, or you will go the other way where you will be venomously against alcohol to the point where anyone that's around it, you will want nothing to do with. You know, you won't, you know, you will be very fearful of it. You will not like it. You will not drink yourself. You know, and at times some will become alcoholics. And I think this is what happened with Johnny Depp. I think he then developed, he had this very good relationship with Vanessa Paradis, probably in a way, a normal functioning relationship, but the way it was with him, it was probably too boring. So of course along comes Amber Heard, who's in his eyes exciting, vivacious, probably helps him feel young again. And she homes right in on that and she manipulates him. So this is what happens. And then you can look at, well, why did he stay? Why did he stay and put up with the abuse, put up with the, I'm not saying he's perfect here, by the way. I just want to clarify that. You know, he had his own demons. He had his own issues that absolutely needed to be sorted out. But in relation to their relationship, you know, why did he stay? Why do people stay in abusive, narcissistic relationships? The reason is, it's what I almost call the drip feed effect. And that's my own terminology. In the beginning, it's amazing. In the beginning, it's fantastic. And so what happens with these type of relationships is when the person gains control and the narcissistic abuse begins, by this point, it's almost like they've got their hooks in. But the person, the victim to it, should I say, is forever hoping that that version that they had in the beginning is still there. They believe it's still there. So what happens is when the person starts to kind of pull away, the victim pulls away, like Johnny Depp would start to kind of pull away and be like, oh, I don't want, they would come in again and they would love bomb again. So they would then come in and be amazing again. They would say they're sorry. They would, make amends to kind of make it all better. So here, then, of course, then the guard is lowered. They believe they've got that person back again. So they would then stay in the relationship. The person would then get their hooks back in again, draw them right back in again, and then the cycle of abuse would start again. And this is kind of like a rinse and repeat. The only difference, the only thing that will happen eventually is if the person starts to regain their strength over a period of time, they will start to desensitize to the love bombing, because then a pattern starts to form where they start to go, I've been here before. So it might be 2, 3, 4 times, maybe sometimes longer, but at some point there's a breaking point where they kind of go, do you know what, enough's enough. And that's when usually then the breakdown starts to happen. But before that, usually the person the narc is aware of this. So if they've exhausted everything they've got from that person, they will move on. Hence, enter Elon Musk. And this is why she then moved on and she then targeted Elon Musk, another person. Again, strong in a sense of, he's got people around him. He's not an unintelligent guy, but in comes the sexual element again. And they do things that perhaps they don't have in their own relationship. And this is how they work. You will go into the discard, the disown and discard phase, usually before you've had enough. So they will reel you in and start to disown you. Then they will reel you in again if they haven't quite finished with you. And you will see this with most abusive relationships. This is why you find that when you start to let go, they will find a way to find their way back in again. The best advice I can give you if you have come out of an abusive relationship is to block them. Have nothing to do with them. Block them on everything. Email, Facebook, Instagram, every avenue, phone, text, anything, WhatsApp. Block them. Delete them out of your life. Delete every picture. Delete everything so they do not exist aside from in you. Because then you can work on you. If you have a way, and don't be fooled, because don't think that you're getting stronger and you can cope, because the manipulation and the abuse that they have installed takes a long time to recover from. So they will find a way to get in. So the best thing to do is if you have no way of them getting to you, you can then focus on you and healing from you. And like with everything, you can absolutely heal from a narcissistic relationship, but only if you have absolutely nothing to do with them. You make sure that your friends, if there is anyone in your inner circle that has contact with them, you tell them you want nothing to do with that person. You don't want to talk about them, hear about them, nothing. Ask your friends, your family to respect that. That is the only way. Don't think that just leaving one avenue open, that's you basically not being over them. That is basically you a lot of people, I hear it all the time where they kind of go, I just want to have my say. I want to tell them how I feel. It doesn't work because they don't care how you feel. But what that will say to them is if you go in and you say something, what that sends that message is they're not over me. They still think about me. I've got a way in, and that is what they'll do. So do not be fooled. Do not think that they are sorry. Do not think that you can tell them how you feel, how angry they are, get them back. It will not work because they don't think the way we do. They will not have an epiphany moment and kind of go, you know what? I treated you so badly, let me make it up to you. The only reason they will say something along those lines is because they haven't finished with you yet and they want something more from you. They do not love or care about you in the way you deserve. So I hope that you will also see within this, you will look at the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case, that it took him years to realise just how awful she was. And not only that, that she drew in other people, her flying monkeys. It's the same with Meghan, flying monkeys, that other people to do their bidding. They don't get their hands dirty. They do it in other ways by getting other people. They will alienate you. They will create you to think that everyone else is against you and they are the only one that can save you, the only one that's there for you. You will hear things like, I do this because I love you. It's for your own good. You know, I say that because I love you and I want the best for you. It's all lies. They do not want the best for you. They want the best for themselves. So when you watch Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, really look at that behaviour and see if that is anywhere in your life that's happened. And the chances are you've been in an abusive relationship, a narcissistic abusive relationship. And my advice is start to step back. You know, if you're in a situation, say, for example, if it's family, that's not always easy to walk away from family. But what you can do is you start to work on yourself where whatever they say or do has no impact on you. Because if they get a rise out of you, if they get a reaction out of you, that's what they want. That's what they thrive on. So if you act like they kind of don't exist, like they don't matter, like no matter what they say or do, it has no impact on you, they will start to realize that they cannot control you. That is why there are some people out there that would never, ever entertain a narcissistic abusive relationship. They would never, a narcissist wouldn't even go near them because they would absolutely see that there's no way they would penetrate. So they find a vulnerability in you, and they will do that very early on, because what they do is, I want to know about you. I want to hear all about you. And they will find out about your family. They will find out if you've got anything that they can use at a later date. And believe you me, they will store it up here. And at some point out, it will come as a manipulation. Well, I'll tell that person if you don't do this, or, you know, they will do it in some other way. They will create you to feel that you're the one that's damaged. You're the one that's crazy. You're the one that's needing help. And they're the ones that are going to help you and pull you through it. So I hope, slightly longer video than I normally do, but I hope you can look at the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case and see with clarity the narcissistic abuse. Now, like I said, he had his own demons, and those are things that he absolutely needed to work on himself. But he did not deserve the way she spoke to him. But because of his upbringing, because of his childhood, it was easy to see how she could manipulate, how he could see that someone who was abusive was mirroring his mother and actually become familiar and, in a way, as crazy as it sounds, safe. And you will find that people that do this, when they go into a normal, healthy relationship, will struggle with that because it would be seen as boring, dull. You know, they crave excitement, they crave drama, because it's all they know. They've known drama in their childhood, so this is what they know. So that's why it's important to, if you have been around that, is if there are things that are coming up, go and speak to somebody. Get that side of you healed first before going into a relationship. Because firstly, A, if you are going into a healthy relationship, that person doesn't deserve that version of you. And B, it stops then anyone else that's going to come in that is going to be manipulative or narcissistic and abusive. They won't get in, because you'll know the signs, you'll see it, and you'll be like, no, thank you. Been there, done that, worn the t-shirt. So yeah. So I hope that helps you slightly understand. This is what happened with Meghan and Harry. This is what he was doing. She mirrored his mother, which I know you guys know that now. But in a way, it's similar with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. You know, I am going to follow the trial. I am following the trial, and I will bring you more things. Obviously, I will do my rants as always, because I know that you do like that. So this one is kind of the tea and therapy. This is what my channel is ideally about. It is bringing you information that hopefully you can incorporate into your real life if you are going through something, and it gives you that help and support, advice, and you kind of hopefully will have some tools to know what to do. As always, you can email me, and I do appreciate that people do email me, and sometimes it takes me a while to get back to them. If after a couple of weeks you haven't heard from me, then please email in again. It's not that I'm ignoring you, it is just that I have a backlog trying to work, trying to run my home, and trying to govern this channel. It's a lot, and I love it, don't get me wrong, wouldn't change it for the world, but you know, it does mean that I don't always get to my emails as quickly as I'd like. Thank you to everybody who has bought me a cup of tea. You are amazing, and I really, really appreciate it. Yay, I am also back over 13k subscribers. Thank you again for everyone who has checked their subscriptions, everyone who is now joining me that is new to my channel. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it gives you something. You can have rants with me. I do the lives with Trevor every week. I will also do my own lives where you can come on and ask me questions. I will hopefully start having guests on again. Now things have calmed down a little bit from last year. I just didn't want to bring anyone in on that drama that... yeah, so as you know. But anyway, so as always, I love you. You are amazing. Don't ever forget that. And I appreciate you. So thank you, Bubble family. Love you. Bye.